So I was very sorry to miss it, and I'm sure you were too. I am speaking, of course, of the long-awaited, by which I mean the very long-awaited, chord change that occurred this week in a composition by the avant-garde composer John Cage. The performance of this piece, appropriately titled As Slow as Possible, began on a small organ in an old church in Germany on September 5th, 2001. Things got off to an intentionally slow start. There was a pause in the first bar that lasted 18 months. Then the first note of the piece finally sounded in 2003 for a full 5 months. The most recent chord change, before this week's, took place 7 years ago. If you missed this week's big moment, you'll be delighted to know, mark your calendars, that you can catch the next chord change on February 5th, 2022. Clearly, this piece is really starting to zip along. Unfortunately, it is highly unlikely that any of us will be around to hear the end of this work. The performance, carefully planned to last 639 years, will not end, assuming all goes according to plan, until the year 2640. No one will hear the whole thing, or even most of it. The performance of this composition is bigger than all of us, with a life longer than our own many times over. I found the thought of this oddly comforting this week. In these strange days, as my own sense of time has been so warped by the pandemic, and the geography of my daily life limited mostly to the footprint of my own home, it has been helpful to be reminded that there are things bigger than us and beyond us. Ideally, that is what meaningful rituals do in our lives. They transcend the present moment, helping us to feel more deeply connected to ourselves and to others and to life, to all that we hold sacred. They help us to feel and understand our place in the larger story, to hear our note in the long song of the universe. This year, we gather for a water communion ritual like none in our congregation's history. Where we've gathered in years past at summer's end with sun-kissed skin and bearing jars and thermoses filled with water gathered from mountain streams and sandy beaches, from melting glaciers and heaving ocean waves, from the kitchen faucet or the hose in the backyard. This year, we gather together, but are physically apart. And the water that we may have scooped up in meaningful moments across recent months, symbolizing our hopes and our joys, our sorrows and our fears, will have to wait for another day to be poured at last into our common bowl. So much has been upended by this pandemic. So much has been lost. So much of our future seemingly held captive by uncertainty. Even for we who have been blessed with good health and good fortune in this time, especially relative to so many other parts of the planet, and it must be said, relative to people living in different realities in other parts of our own city, there is still a toll in the mounting little losses of rituals postponed and routines revamped, of this chapter of our lives being rewritten in ways we likely didn't see coming. While there are hidden blessings and silver linings in this time, many of us are desperately waiting for the next chord change. Some are understandably searching for a different song entirely. We live in a liminal season now, but just as we always have. This strange period that we are in may feel like it's stuck between what was and what will be, but it is at the same time all that we can be sure of. This too is our life. Today is what is given, and it is ours to rejoice and be glad in, to hold and cherish for the gift that it is. Amid the monotony and frustration and fear and all the many struggles so many of you are contending with, that I know may be a very hard thing to do, to rejoice and be glad. But it is the work of this day and every day to celebrate the life we are given for but a brief slice of time. It is the poignant point Ellen Bass makes in her poem, The Thing Is. The thing is to love life, to love it even when you have no stomach for it, and everything you've held dear crumbles like burnt paper in your hands, your throat filled with the silt of it. When grief sits with you, its tropical heat thickening the air, heavy as water, more fit for gills than lungs. When grief weights you down like your own flesh, only more of it, an obesity of grief, and you think, how can a body withstand this? And then you hold life like a face between your palms, a plain face, no charming smile, no violet eyes. And you say, yes, I will take you. I will love you again. Again, this is what our best rituals help us to do, to help us to hold at once the ultimate and most intimate aspects of our lives, to awaken the heart, to deepen connection, and to bring us back to a commitment to life. In a few minutes, I will invite you to drink a glass of water with intention, to commune with one another and the earth, to take in water, a single atom of oxygen bonded with two of hydrogen, the lifeblood of the world, the substance that makes up over half of our bodies, the common miracle that we cannot live without. From the stars have we come, comprised of the same cosmos-kissed atoms that create water. We were born into this world from the waters of our mother's wombs. It is no wonder so many of us feel drawn to dive into a body of water and swim, to canoe with the current, or watch waves wash in on the shore. It is a returning to that from which we have come, to that from which we are made. May these atoms of water born among the stars that we drink today and every day become you, reminding you again that you belong to the great and unfolding story of the universe, a story given life over and over through the grace of water. Blessed be.